Oh, it's time to drink a little bit more. 'Cause I can. Oh, here we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, once upon a time, many, many years ago, in a galaxy far, far away, this guy I met on Light Rail back when I was a tweaker. Dude gets on Light Rail, old guy. I have to say maybe 50s, 60s, somewhere around there. Clearly homeless. And I don't mean that in a judgmental way, but like, there's certain people that there's no denying that they don't, that they're residentially challenged. But we're sitting there talking, really cool dude, just fucking awesome, anarchist, just pure punk rock. And he was around for like the Ramones and all, like Sex Pistols, shit like that. Good old school punk rock. And he was an alcoholic, and he had wine in a coffee cup, and he's sitting there down in it, and he's sitting there talking to me about, how you shouldn't let you should be happy with who you are. He's like, I'm an alcoholic, I like to drink, it's what makes me happy. And so he drinks all the time. He told me straight up. He gave me the nickname Mutt, and I thought it was super cool. I can't remember his name, but he called me Mutt. And he was like, that's your punk rock name. And he told me, Mutt, if you open the newspaper or you turn on the TV and you saw that I got hit by a light rail and I was drunk as shit when I did it, be happy. Be happy that I died drunk, because I died the way I wanted to, and that was drunk. And I know that sounds really fucked up for a lot of people, and a lot of people are like, oh my god, he's proud to be an alcoholic, but I mean, like, if it's what makes you happy and shit, like, and I know I say sometimes on Facebook, like, oh, if you're, proud of your addiction, whatever, there's a difference between addiction and enjoying something, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you let your vice overpower you, then that's not good. But, like, I'm a pothead, dude. I love smoking pot. I love being high. I really don't like being sober. I love just hitting that joint, fucking puffing that bong, and just flying. Because this is when I'm my most creative. Because it really opens my mind. But, I can stop whenever I want. I'm not addicted to it. I'm addicted to the feeling because it's a great feeling. I'm happy all the time. I'm numb. I don't feel pain. Everything's great. Everything's beautiful. So why wouldn't I love it? But when he said those words, it really spoke to me, because it was like, this guy really loves his life. He was really happy being him and being, you know what? I'm going to take a drink in this guy's honor. It's to you, homie, wherever you are. Hopefully, whether you're alive or dead, if you're dead, I hope to God you were drunk when it happened. It's for you, homie. Whew. No, that honestly spoke to me, because it was like, this guy was completely okay with himself being drunk. It's what made him happy, And we all have our vices, no matter what it is. Do you have a favorite TV show? Do you record it? Do you get pissed off when that recording doesn't happen, or when something gets recorded over it? Guess what that is? It's your vice. It's your addiction. We all have them. Everyone's got their vice. Everyone's got their addiction. You shouldn't judge other people for it. If a homeless person asks you for change, whether he says it's for food or for whatever, give it to him. I give homeless people... I was homeless for like 3-4 years, something like that. Actually, yeah, 3 years. And none of the money I ever panhandled went to drugs. I earned the money for drugs other ways. I never used my panhandling money for drugs. Did I lie? Yes. I lied to get the money. But I used it for food, or I used it for, a hotel room that night. But I made up stories in order to make it seem sadder. The reality is I was doing it just for a hotel. Now, if I had just been like, yeah, I need a hotel for the night, I probably could have made a few bucks. But I really kind of overpowered it in order to get more money. But I give homeless, like, if a homeless guy comes up to me and says, hey, I just need a couple bucks for a beer. Or even if a homeless guy is like, hey, do you got some change you can spare? I'll be straight. I'll be like, look, are you going to buy it? Are you going to use it on drugs? And if he says no, I'm like, well, I wouldn't care if you did. Because it makes you happy. And I was homeless for 3 years. So I know this shit. I know how hard it is to be homeless. And it's not as easy as everyone wants to be like, oh, you just go out and get a job. No, it's really not that easy to get a job, first of all. Especially when you look like shit, smell like shit, and there's really not a whole lot you could do about it to change that because, well, you live on the streets and you don't really have much options for hygiene. But some people, like, I would go out and I would hunt for jobs and I would really try to change my life around. And at the end of the day, it'd be nice to just let your fucking self relax, right? So if your ideal relaxation is to hit the piezo a couple times and get Chris out of your mind, I can't say otherwise. If your idea of a good time is get coked out of your brain, or drunk, or stoned, or whatever heroin addicts call their fucking high. I don't know. I did heroin for a little bit. I honestly cannot understand why people do it, but I'm not going to judge. But if it makes you happy, do it. And when that guy said that thing to me, it really opened me up and it inspired me, because when I die, I hope I die stoned. If I'm stoned as shit when I die, and they're like, oh, he had tons of marijuana in his system, and he was high as hell when he died, don't you dare feel a damn bit of remorse. Don't you dare feel sad for me. I don't want nobody crying at my funeral. At my funeral, it's going to be a party. I'm going to have all my homies, all my family. We're going to get together. I want to roast at my fucking funeral. I don't want people sad. I want people making fun of me. And do not hold back. Like, for real. Like, if I die from autoerotic asphyxiation, you better have fun with that shit. I want to be made fun of. I want to be talked shit about. I want it to be a good time. I want everyone to remember me as the fun-loving party animal that I am. Not, and yeah, the nice guy and all that, yes. But I don't want everyone to be sad. I don't want people to sit there and be like, oh, he was a great guy and he did this and blah, blah, blah. It's just such a shame to see him go. No. Be like, this nasty-ass, dirty-ass, drunk-ass, high-ass motherfucker was gotta be the stupidest idiot motherfucker on the face of the goddamn planet. No, I want you to trash me like I was fucking a paper towel. I want to get ragged on at my funeral. And then at the end of it, when I'm buried and everything's said and done, I'm not going to reveal my funeral plans because I don't want people stealing it. But, okay, it's going to be pretty epic. But afterwards, have a party. Dude, I want my family to cook their meals, their signature dish. And I want to have a big old party. I want all my friends and family. And yes, I want people to smoke at my funeral. If you're a stoner, you better be high as shit at my funeral. There better be an open bar at my funeral. Because I don't want people sad. Now, if I died sober, if I wasn't high at the time, be a little bit sad. Still have fun, but be sad. But when that guy said that to me, it really woke me up. It was like, wow, I shouldn't be, ashamed that I enjoy something. Now, when you let your vice control you, then that's when you have a problem. Like, had I not have let meth control me the way it did, I probably could have maintained on it. I was a damn good artist on meth. I was hella good at art on meth. I was hella good at a lot of things on meth because I had that focus. Because being ADHD like I am and having the mental disabilities, it's hard for me to focus and it's hard for me to keep my hands steady. I shake a lot. But when I was on meth, I was like, whoosh, like totally mental. Like, it was great. It was weird. But it did fuck up my life because I let it control me. And I'm never going back to it because I don't want to risk that. But I think there could have been some benefits had I not have fucked up my life with it. But if you can control yourself and not let your vice control you, then I say do it. If you like to drink, if drinking makes you happy, do it. I mean, be careful, be safe. I'm not saying go get drunk and drive a car. No. No. Be safe about it. Drink at home. Drink around people you trust to take care of you when you pass out. Be smart about it. Don't be stupid about it. Be smart about it. But, everyone's got their vices. We all do. I can sit there and say anime right now, and how many of you people are going to get really focused about what you think I'm about to say about anime? You're either going to be like, oh my god, this motherfucker better not talk shit about anime, or oh my god, he's going to start talking about anime? No way, so cool, I love anime! I'm not going to say either or. All I had to say was anime, and you instantly jerked. I instantly got a reaction out of you. I could say weed. I could say juggalos. I could say music. I could say anything in the world. Somebody watching this right now is going to be like, and they're going to they're going to focus on what I'm about to say, because they're either going to hate me or they're going to love me. But they're going to focus on what I'm going to say because it's their vice. We all have our vices. Every single one of us. I like to smoke pot. I like to drink. I like to party. Would I love to do it all the time? Hell yeah! I'd love to be drunk 24/7. Well, I mean, I would, if I knew I wouldn't ruin my liver and everything else from drinking hella alcohol, I'd be drunk all the time. But because there's drawbacks, I gotta be careful. I smoke pot like it's fucking air. And I know it's gonna fuck up my breathing eventually. I know that, and it does. I can't breathe that well. I mean, I can breathe, but sometimes it hurts. But I'm working on that. I'm practicing breathing exercises and stuff to try to improve my lungs while I smoke pot. Because I'm not going to stop smoking pot just because, it's hard for me to breathe. And it sounds stupid because, you're ruining your body. But there are so many other benefits to smoking pot that the fact that I can barely breathe doesn't really faze me. And I can breathe. It's just if I lay a certain way, when I wake up, it hurts. That could be caused by anything. I could be a cigarette smoker and be the same thing. But what this is trying to say is don't let your vices control you. Ever. Never let your vices control you. Because if they control you, then they're not vices. They're your own. They're your god, basically. And it goes back to that religion, and it goes back to everything else, Don't let things control you. Be you, Control your shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't let weed control me. I control weed, you know what I'm saying? I'll buy, yeah, there's times where I'll buy $100 worth of weed, and it'll be gone in a day. But that's because I'm smoking it with people, and I give some to my friends, and, I share. I rarely sell weed. I mean, I will, but I rarely do. I usually give it out. It's oh man, I need to get, because there's a lot of people that smoke weed, and a lot of my friends smoke weed, and a lot of people that I smoke weed don't have weed, and it sucks. I know what it's like to be sober, and it's a bitch. So if I got weed, I'm going to share a couple bowls with you. If I've got some bowls to share, I'm going to share some bowls. If I got enough to give you a dime or two, I'm going to give you a dime or two. If I get enough to give you a gram, I'm going to give you a gram, But that's just because I'm a nice guy, and I'm not going to deny you your vice just because, of whatever reason. Like I said, if you come up to me and you're like, hey man, I need some change because of blah, blah, blah. Regardless of what you tell me, I'm going to give you change if I have any. Because I've been where you're at. I've been sitting in front of a Walmart with a box and a sign asking for change. It's very, very, it could really fuck your emotional self up. People, the people I used to hang out with, they're like, oh my god, dude, this guy's a fucking pro. Look at this dude, watch Zach do it. And I'll be like, excuse me, do you have some change you can spare? And you can't really see by this camera, but I got really pretty eyes, and a lot of people tell me that. So when I got this beautiful sad look, I'm really about to fuck my life up, it helps. But they think I'm acting. For the most part, I wasn't. I was being dead serious. I was like, fuck, dude, I hate my goddamn life. I'm sitting here, and it sucked because there would be people that there was one lady, I heard the change in her hand, and I'm like, excuse me, do you have some change? And she's like, no, sorry. And I'm like, I hear the change in your hand, and you just gave it to the lady at the Salvation Army. The lady at the thing, she's also sitting there ringing the bell. She made people give me money, because she felt bad for me. And that was so sweet of her. I didn't spend that money on drugs or anything. I actually did spend it on a hotel room, but, you know, honestly, I don't think, you know, if you're homeless or whatever and you come up to me and you're straight with me, I'm gonna give you money. If I had a guy come up to me one time, he's like, hey, look, shit's hard, I just need a couple dollars for beer. And I'm really close friends with this guy. Like, I see him on the streets every once in a while, and I talk to him and shit. He's like, hey, what's up, man, how you doing? And he asks me all the time, hey, do you need anything? And you know, if I need something, if I need weed, I'll be like, hey, do you know where I could get weed? He'll find me weed, if, you know, whatever. And if I have change, I will give him change for alcohol. But he came up, the first time I ever met him, he's like, hey, man, you got a couple dollars for that so I could get a beer? And I'm like, here you go. Thank you for your honesty. I forgot who he was when I started doing meth, and I almost snapped on him because I thought he looked at me funny and a bunch of stupid shit. But it turned out he was that same guy. And I was like, oh shit, dude, I'm hella sorry, you know, I'm just having a bad day and everything. He's like, no, I understand, and, you know. But that's his, you know, vice. He likes to drink. After a long, hard day of your life being a living fucking nightmare where you have to lower and debase yourself to ask other people for money, it's kind of nice to have that little release. So think about that. Think about that next time you go up to next time somebody comes up to you and asks you for change, or next time you see a homeless person. Think about that. If I was in that situation, I would want somebody to give me change. And if you don't have it, be like, no, sorry, I don't have any. Or, oh, let me see how much I have when I come out of the building. Don't look your nose up and ignore people. Like, I've had people tell me no, and I've had people like, no, get a job. That hurts, but it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as when somebody looks right at your eyes, and then goes, and gives you like this like sneaky little nook as they do this shit. As they turn their head and look their nose up to the sky. Not figuratively, literally. And treat you like you're the scum of the earth. That's fucked up. Like they don't have vices of their own. Like their life is so perfect. So, I really do feel that we should just help people, you know. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, you know, you're just helping their addiction. First of all, not everyone's addicted. I'm not addicted to weed, but I still smoke it on a regular basis because it makes me happy. Okay? I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I have anxiety, depression. I have a lot of things wrong with my head. And smoking weed helps it. It really does. I'm medically licensed to smoke it now because I was tired of dealing with cops. That was the only reason why I got the license. Because I was tired of dealing with cops and I was tired of dealing with drug dealers. Because I lost $100 because my drug dealer ended up in jail. So, I got a license. So I'm not going to worry about that shit no more. I can now legally buy weed. But it's not about that. It's not about so I could go out and smoke pot with all my friends all the goddamn time. Yes, I do it. Because I enjoy smoking with people. But I also do it to make me happy. So I'm not sad all the time. So I'm not depressed. If smoking pot with my friends is what makes me happy, then isn't the fucking medicine doing its job? Think about it. People are like, oh, you're supposed to be using it for medicinal purposes and you're out blowing it, smoking it with all your friends and shit. But isn't part of trying to get over depression making yourself happy? If smoking a blunt with my friends makes me happy, then I'm not depressed. I don't have anxiety, not having flashbacks from my PTSD. Sounds to me like it's doing its job. Sounds to me like I'm doing exactly what my prescription says I should. But what I'm trying to say is we all have our vices. And we all do things that make us happy. And that as long as we're happy, our death shouldn't be sad. If we die happy, then that's all that should matter. Honestly. If somebody at that particular moment died, but they were happy when they died, or they were in their particular vice when they died, don't be sad for them. Yes, be sad you're not going to get to be around them, or you're not going to see their face, or what have you. But remember, this world is fucked up. And it's full of some sick, fucked up people. And to be out of it is amazing. You know, I would love to see the world be better, but until then, don't be sad when somebody dies. Know that they've gone to a better place, whatever that better place may be. Whether it be heaven, whether it be nirvana, hell, if you're a Satanist, hell, whatever. You know, whatever you feel like is your proper place when you die, it's where you're gonna go. And you're gonna be happy. So don't be sad when somebody dies. Yeah, it sucks. It really does, because you think about all the shit that you'll never get to do again with that person, but hey, think of all the good times. Try not to think about the negative. It's hard, trust me. It really is. It's a pain in the ass. 1 second. I'm actually kind of feeling it too. Oh, that smelled good. Ugh. Hate the taste, but love the feeling. But, you know, it really does suck when somebody dies. But I don't feel we should hate or be sad that somebody died. Bless my soul. I think we should be happy. I mean, don't be happy that somebody died, like, you know, don't be like, oh, good, he died, that's great, you know. I'm not saying that, so, for those of you who aren't deep and who don't understand what I'm saying, for you simple-minded people, what I'm saying is, when somebody dies, don't go sit in a dark corner somewhere. Don't sit there depressed and sad. Like, oh, they're dead, my life is over. Dude, is that really what they would want? You know? Like, if I died and I found out any of my friends or family were all super depressed and crying and all emotional and shit about it, I'd haunt the shit out of them. Oh, you best believe. So I'm gonna let you all know right now. And it's not gonna be a good haunting either. It's not gonna be one of those, hey, you shouldn't be sad that I'm gone. I'm in a better place now. No, I'm gonna walk into your goddamn bedroom, bitch slap the hell out of you and tell you, look, I'm dead. Crying's not gonna bring me back. Get the fuck over it, smoke a goddamn blunt, take a goddamn drink of alcohol, fucking smile, and go out and have some goddamn fun. You know what? Get yourself a goddamn bottle, get yourself a goddamn bag of weed, and go goddamn do some shit on my fucking grave. That's what I'm gonna do. As a ghost. So, y'all better watch it. Don't be crying and shit. And I'll find out. Trust me. Because I know for the fact I'm gonna be a ghost. Because my life is too goddamn fun to fucking go somewhere else. That was another thing, ghost hunter guy I was talking to in Sacramento. I wanted to be part of a paranormal team. So I met this guy. We talked. Hella cool dude. Super cool. But he told me his theory about ghosts is that when you love life so much, you don't want to leave Earth. So you come